welcome to Empire Bowl in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in the PBA Midcontinent Communications Open. This is a stop on the PBA's Midwest Regional Tour, and great to have you with us today. Happy Mother's Day. Tom Neiman along with Steve Flynn here at Empire Bowl, and this is the 5th year now for this event here at Empire, Steve, and had 57 entries representing 11 states, some good regional representation here in the tournament.
Definitely. We had a lot of bowlers traveling here this year. We had 35 non-members and 22 members. So it's a good field today. We got 5 great bowlers battling out for $2,500.
Out of that 57, 5 have advanced here to the stepladder finals, and a couple of keys to the game, keys to the lanes here at Empire in this first match, Steve, and the chameleon pattern being used here in the tournament.
Yep, the chameleon pattern is 43 feet. These guys got to get out and get striking early. They're hooking today, and we're going to see some high scores.
All right, match 1 coming up when we come back. It'll be Josh Hepp representing Sioux Falls, taking on Jason Poli, the 2011 champ here at the Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open.
The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is brought to you by Red Ray Lanes, West Acres Bowl, and Empire Bowl. Don't forget wholesome family fun is right around the corner at your local bowling alley. The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is brought to you by the Flynn family of local bowling centers in Grand Forks, Fargo, and Sioux Falls. Get off the couch and into the game. Take a kid bowling today.
All right, welcome back to Empire Bowl, the PBA Midwest Regional Midcontinent Communications Open, and take a look at our competitors here in match number 1. You got Jason Poli on the left there, Josh Hepp from Sioux Falls, a Lincoln High School graduate, and he will be up first here. The number 4 qualifier this year, Josh Hepp. Steve?
Josh battled very hard to get to this spot today. He led qualifying in the first day. Went through a little rough patch in the middle of the match play, and then bowled phenomenal his last game to leapfrog back into the show. And he gets up there and starts out with a nice little swisher strike there. Shot for Josh.
Jason Poli out of West Des Moines, Iowa. He was the champion here in the second year of this event back in 2011. He was the number 5 qualifier that year, went all the way through the ladder and won it, and he is the number 5 qualifier again this year.
Poli's hoping to do the same thing this year. He's just got to stay soft out to the dry spot and let the ball hook back, and that one might have just been a little bit outside.
35-year-old Jason Poli was in this event for 2 years, did not play last year. He had a son about a year ago at this time, just turned 1 a couple of weeks ago, so back in action here at the Midcontinent Open for Jason Poli.
He's going to hook it at this 2/8 spare, which is pretty typical for these guys. With the sleeper behind there, you want to definitely throw a hook. Converts that nicely. Yeah, he's out here battling on Mother's Day, so wouldn't mean anything more to Jason than to get a title to bring back home to his 1-year-old and his wife.
Talk about a little style here for Jason Poli, Steve, and as pretty much as smooth as you're going to see it. You've told me a lot about you don't need a lot of muscle to get it down there, just good rhythm.
Yep, good rhythm, good free arm swing, and keep your hand underneath the ball to come around it smooth and hopefully get some good pin action off of that. Jason's very smooth, good tempo, gets through the ball really clean. That's a good shot there. And he gets some love tripping out that 4-pin.
All right, spare strike start for Poli. And it'll bring back up Josh Hepp.
Josh's style is a little bit different. He likes to grip the ball a little bit harder and use more of his muscle to get through it. But anything you got to do to knock 10 pins down, and Josh is definitely very good at knocking 10 pins down. Multiple 300 and 800 honor scores for this kid right here.
74 300 games in his career here, 30-year-old Josh Hepp.
Some more white love for Josh. He is standing up about another 3 feet up on the approach than he normally does, just to slow himself down, keep himself in time, helps him execute better, keeps him balanced at the line.
You give him a hard time about his setup. It's just a little more unconventional than you see, right? Doesn't have the real smooth slide up there, real aggressive to the line.
Yep, he's a planter, so he doesn't create much leverage, but he does create a lot of hand motion. He gets through the ball really hard. He's not afraid to rip the cover off of it. Just keeps it nice and slow. There's another good shot. That one was right in the pocket there for Josh. Good shot there.
On 3 for Hepp. He's had some nice finishes here in this event. Was second in the first year in 2010. So another top 10 finish. And here's Poli again, won here in 2011.
Jason's just going to try to soften up a little bit here. Try to let the ball move a little bit more. Can he get the trip out again? Nope. A little bit high there for the 4-pin.
And the mental games begin. Talked to Jason about a half hour before we started here. Asked him, can you know when it's going to go good? He said, yeah, you can. Some days you can. You don't feel it. Some days you feel it. He said he was feeling pretty good.
Yep. The first shot just got a little bit away from him. And the next two are pretty good shots, so he's just in his head right now going, man, do I have the right ball in my hand? Do I need to move? Or do I just need to get up there and make another good shot and hope all 10 go down? These guys are just in a mental grind non-stop out here when you're at this level. Just like professional golfers, it's just every shot matters so much to these guys. You got to take as much time as you need to get up there and try to produce a good one.
All right, Poli here in
That's
the
a little better.
4th.
There's a good shot there from Jason.
Most of these guys, we'll see one of the other competitors later on, it's a full-time on the PBA Regional Tour. And Josh Hepp works for a cabinet maker here in Sioux Falls. Jason Poli's an analyst for Nationwide Insurance. But these guys get out and they want to play as many of these events as they can, right?
Yep, they want to go out and bowl the PBA events because it's very prestige and pays good money. Not too often can you find an amateur event in your backyard that pays $2,500 to win. Oh, Josh gets some loves there. Slaps that one off.
Late again for Hepp, but he's got the front 4 here to get started.
Josh is he's very comfortable throwing a lot of strikes because that's all the kid does. He strikes and strikes and strikes more. So right now he's just trying to keep himself calm, keep himself slow, and hit his target. And you're going to see pins flying everywhere with this kid for how hard he turns the bowling ball.
Yeah, he gets it down there quicker than anybody else in this final 5, doesn't he?
Yep, he throws it a lot harder and a lot more hand. The other guys are just softer and a little bit smoother. But hey, whatever you got to do to get 10 down.
So Hepp's got 4 in a row to start.
That one was a little faster. Yeah. As you can see, that ball just got a little faster, kind of off balance at the line. The ball just never read the lane. They call this the PBA washout. The PBA patterns are not your typical lane pattern that you see on a recreational league night. The oil's a lot more even across the lane, so it's tougher for the ball to hook back to the pocket if you miss a little bit, or if your speed's off by a little bit. He wants to hit the right side of the head pin here and have the ball deflect into the 610. Hits the head pin a little bit too heavy and just takes the front fence. So he opens the 5th frame. He is now at 111, but it's still not advantage Poli. Josh still has the upper hand right now unless Jason goes up and doubles here. And these 2 shots he'll be throwing.
All right, Poli in the 5th. He started spare strike, spare strike.
Same thing there. He just did the opposite of what Josh did. He kind of stood up on that one and turned it early, so the ball went left instead of right. And right now, if he converts his spare, he's got going what we call a Dutch 200 in bowling. It's every other frame is either a strike or a spare. It's not a consistent strike, strike, or a spare, spare. It's every other frame. And that would equal out to a perfect 200 game.
Chance is pretty good. He's going to get this one. And through the first 5. Poli is on that 200 pace. Just fascinating, though, to get, I mean, how compressed it gets here. We're already halfway through this, and you're just trying to figure things out, and you just see the gears grinding there in Poli's head.
Yep, they definitely are. He's kind of lost a little bit, but he's not really lost. He's just not really producing shots from what I've watched him bowl all week. I bowled with him in qualifying, and watching him yesterday in match play, it's like he's just not the most comfortable out there right now, but that one sure looked like he was comfortable.
All right, halfway through match number 1 here, Josh Hepp and Jason
The PBA
Poli.
Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is sponsored by Red Ray Lanes, West Acres Bowl, and Empire Bowl. Want to find out how your kids can bowl free all summer long? Visit kidsbowlfree.com. The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is sponsored by Red Ray Lanes in Grand Forks, West Acres Bowl in Fargo, and Empire Bowl in Sioux Falls. Bowling, it's the original social networking.
All right, Josh Hepp coming up here. First ball in the 6th for Hepp.
Josh coming off of an open in the 5th. He's got to get back on the horse here and start striking to put a little pressure back on Poli. Poli did strike in the 6th. Josh is going to try to match him to keep a 1-pin lead. For that one better. Get some love. Oh yeah,
10 goes
messenger.
Late for Hepp, so he opened up with 4 straight. Back at it here in the 6th.
Throwing a little lumber at that 10-pin there. You betcha. That head pin comes off the sidewall and then comes right back and rips out and takes out the 10.
He's got a little more calm to him, it seems, here this afternoon. I know qualifying just gets long, and yesterday was a grind, 10-hour grind for all of these guys, but you get that sleep and get back here and get a little more focused today in the step ladder.
Yep. Head-to-head matches, you always get way more focused because you're not worrying about what the field's doing. You're just worrying about what your opponent's doing and worrying about making your own best shot you can do. There's another good one for Josh. If you notice him, he's staying slower, staying solid at the line, and that's when he's going to get the best ball reaction. All 10 in the pit for Mr. Hepp.
All right, Poli coming here in the 7th, coming off a strike.
He has not struck yet on this lane, so let's see if he can make a few minor jump spins out of the commercial break and get 10 in the pit. That's a better shot if it hooks. And it does. That's a great shot for Jason.
Got it down. He came over the break. You were giving him a little grief about his slow start. He said his timing was just a little off in that right lane.
Yeah, these guys, not every single lane plays the same. Each lane has their own characteristics and how they hook a little bit more, a little bit less, a little bit sooner, a little bit later. So every shot they throw, they're just mentally preparing themselves and envisioning the ball going down the lane on their line and getting 10 in the pit. See, Mr. Hepp still has an 11-pin lead here. That one was a little quicker, but it recovers nicely. It's a big turkey there for Mr. Poli. Now let's see if Josh can get up and do a little gobbling of his own.
Poli again. He's already made one run through the entire field here in the 5-man finals back in 2011 when he was the champion here. Josh Hepp didn't play in this event last year, but he's been in the top 11 the 3 years prior to that he's been here in this event.
Josh can definitely play with the big boys, that's for sure. That's a little quicker and in, but his speed holds the line and he does not split, so that's a safe shot there for Josh. Yeah, Josh is not afraid to come out here and compete with these PBA members and, you know, show them a little something about the amateur side of bowling. Get up here and run the spare down for him. He's going to probably throw it straight and hard. The way he sets up. Bingo, right on line. Good spare there for Josh. You got to fill frames in this format, especially in head-to-head, because every frame matters so much. Got to add those pins up and got to fill your frames.
Again, had 57 entries this year. 31 of those were from South Dakota. And Josh Hepp here, the last South Dakota man standing. Had Troy Bush in the final 12 here. Glenn Paulson from Sioux Falls was in that final 12.
Mike Cruz Sr. from Vermilion, but he pretty much lives up here too. His son runs the pro shop here at Empire Bowl. There's a better shot for Josh. Gets the 10 pin out a little late. And that's the 9th frame strike. That is the most important strike to get. It's called the foundation frame because it sets up your 10th frame. A strike is 10 plus your next 2 balls. A spare is 10 plus your next shot. So definitely getting a strike in the 9th is a big deal.
All right, Poli here in the 9th now. He's working on 3 in a row. Seems to have found it in that right lane, Steve.
Yep, that's a big shot there for Jason. That if he gets the first one here, he's going to have to make Josh strike out. They are tied right now. If Jason strikes here, he will get a 10-pin lead. And if he doubles, he essentially shuts Josh Hepp out. A little quicker, a little right. Gets the ball to recover back, and he's loving this reaction now. If you just look at Jason's face, he is all business.
Yeah, he's not talking to himself as much as he did through those first 5 frames, and locked in now 5 in a row for Poli.
When you get to this level, the more you shut your brain off and just let your muscle memory take over, the better you're going to be. If you're thinking and trying too hard, you're going to start pinching it at the bottom, which is squeezing the ball. And when you squeeze the ball's not going to come off your hand properly. So it's not going to be on line with the same rev rate and the same speed.
All right, 2nd ball and 10th here for Poli.
Strikes here, this is going to seal it. And it does. There's your winner of the first match, Mr. Jason Poli, ladies and gentlemen.
A little wobbly at the start, but again, when he came over after that 5th, he wasn't worried about it.
He was coasting. He was trying to get a feel for the lanes. You know, the lights are on the lanes. That normally doesn't happen to these guys, so they transition a little quicker. The hotter the light, the more the oil absorbs. Or evaporates, I'm sorry. Absorbs into the bowling ball. He did a little area check there. He kind of moved left and let the ball out and saw if it was going to recover. But once again, you can't take anything away from Josh Hepp. I mean, he battled hard all week, bowled all day yesterday, bowled awesome, made the show, and he won't be complaining a little bit with a 5th place prize.
.249 in that first game, by the way, for Jason Poli. And Hepp to finish up here again. And again, he's had some very nice finishes here in this Midcontinent Open. 5th will be his 2nd highest ever here in this event.
But he still came out and he's going to shoot 220. I mean, 220 is a great score in this pattern. It took a 226 average for 7 games yesterday to make the match play, and it took a 224 average to make a check. And he'll shoot 219.
Good showing again for Josh Hepp, the man from Sioux Falls. So South Dakota will bow out here in the first match. Jason Poli will move on. $750 check here for the 5th place finisher, Josh Hepp. Shot of the game here, Stephen Flynn, is Jason Poli after.
Just great ball motion. He's got a good look right now. I don't see Jason missing too much the rest of this afternoon. Somebody's going to have to shoot a big game against him. He's got great ball roll. As you see, the pin's just destroying.
That's 6 in a row, 6 strikes in a row there for Poli from the 6th through the 10th, and a 249 for Jason Poli. And warming up there is Nick Heilman, our number 3 qualifier here in the stepladder finals. He's from La Crosse, Wisconsin, and we move on to our second match now. Jason Poli taking on Nick Heilman when we come back.
The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is brought to you by Red Ray Lanes, West Acres Bowl, and Empire Bowl. Don't forget wholesome family fun is right around the corner at your local bowling alley. The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is brought to you by the Flynn family of local bowling centers in Grand Forks, Fargo, and Sioux Falls. Get off the couch and into the game. Take a kid bowling today.
All right, welcome back to Empire Bowl. Nick Heilman getting set there for match number 2. Here's the recap. Steve Flynn, brought to you by KidsBowlFree.com. And Jason Poli takes out Josh Hepp 249 to 219.
Yeah, that was a hard-fought game for both those two. Josh just got a little fast on one shot and didn't get carried on another one. But he bowled great and good for him. 5th place finish is awesome. Now we got Nick Heilman coming up here, and he got to watch the guys play the first game, and his plan's going to be to probably stay right on top of Jason Poli and keep it simple, stupid.
Heilman says, yeah, that's the thing for him, is just don't overthink it. Keep it simple. And Nick Heilman and Jason Poli coming up in our next match when we return to Empire Bowl in Sioux Falls.
The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is sponsored by Red Ray Lanes, West Acres Bowl, and Empire Bowl. Want to find out how your kids can bowl free all summer long? Visit kidsbowlfree.com. The PBA Midcontinent Communications Midwest Open on Midco Sports Network is sponsored by Red Ray Lanes in Grand Forks, West Acres Bowl in Fargo, and Empire Bowl in Sioux Falls. Bowling, it's the original social networking.
All right, Josh Hepp of Sioux Falls bows out in the first match here at the Midco Open. Jason Poli takes down Hepp 249-219. So Nick Heilman is up next to take on Poli. And Heilman was the 2nd place finisher last year. He was the number 1 qualifier and lost to Jason Steiner here in the finals last year. But back here is the number 3 qualifier this year is Heilman.
And Heilman is actually left of Mr. Poli, and he gets some late love there on the late tap. It looks like they're both throwing pretty aggressive bowling balls, but Nick is a lot more behind the ball when he comes out of it. So the more behind the ball you are, the more the ball's going to roll evenly. Jason likes to come around it more, so he throws it more like a spiral of a football. And that ball gets further down the lane and then makes its turn. We'll see if Jason still has a good look on the right lane. Threw that one a little harder, and maybe just got a little quick there. Left the short fence, also known as the 3-6-10.
Poli again found it toward the end of that first match. 6 in a row, and then a 9 on his final ball, but it took him a little while to get going in that first match.
Converts that nicely. I wouldn't doubt it if he didn't throw it that good there, so he's going to try to make a better shot here, but I wouldn't doubt to see a ball change within the next 4 to 5 frames from Mr. Poli here. He's throwing the biggest ball in his bag, which would be the most hooking ball. That's his driver right there. He might need to go to his 3-wood. There's a good shot for Jason. But it didn't recover. So now he is fishing a little bit. He threw that one on line. Might have just caught some carry down or some hang, but that ball did not want to start hooking. He leaves the 2-8-10, which is a tough split here. He's got to get a pin to bounce out of the back.
Attack that 2 and
looks like he's just going to take 2.
All right, strike open to start it here for Poli.
Spare open.
Excuse me,
spare open. It's the same count though.
There's Tom Hess, former champion here as well, another Des Moines, Iowa guy.
Yep, Tom, like I said, he cashed there was a tie for 13th and 14th. They cashed 14 guys with the top 12 making the match play. And there you see Nick. He's just got softer speed right now, so his ball reaction is just a little bit more predictable. On these PBA patterns, it's really speed sensitive. So if you throw it a little hard, the ball may not hook. If you throw it a little soft, the ball may hook too much. But Nick is Nick's a really good player. He keeps it. He's got a really simple game. The game I'd love to have.
Your game is complicated?
Very. I'm left-handed.
Who finished 14th, just out of the money this year?
I finished 15th.
15th.
Out of the
okay,
money.
Sorry.
But it was a fun day. And there's Nick right there opening up with a little turkey action. He's got a good look too. He's about 8 boards left of Jason, throwing just as aggressive as a ball, but his hand is just a little bit softer at the bottom, so it makes for a more predictable reaction. Looks like Jason's moving a couple left here. He's just got to trust him here, kind of like he did the last game, the last half of the last game. Ball got out. I'm going to assume he's going to start changing balls here pretty soon after he tries to convert this baby split, the 210. He's going to try to hit the right side of the 2-pin and have the ball deflect into the 10. Let's see if he can convert. That ball's got a hook. Just slides by the 2-pin. Takes out the 10.
All right, Poli open in the second and third frames.
And he's sitting there looking at the equipment, wondering what he's going to be doing next. Looks like he's going to go back to the driver. Nope, he's taking his thumb out of the ball and he's switching to the same exact ball with a different layout. We'll see if this ball reads the lane a little bit better for him. That ball is just a little bit cleaner. Doesn't try to hook so much early, part in the lane. So what he did there is he's got a strong layout on one bowling ball and a weaker layout on another bowling ball. Bowling balls have cores inside of them that help make the ball hook. And when you offset that core with where you put your finger holes and thumb hole, it'll try to fight back to zero gravity and hook back to the pocket. And he made a good ball change there.
After 3 in the front to start for Heilman, a split here in the 4th, and that might put a little spark back in Jason Poli, who's trailing here early on.
Nick didn't throw that bad of a shot there. It was just a little slow. Ball just hit the friction and started hooking. But this is a lot more makeable than Jason's looking at. But he'll take 2, respectively. And he's just going to try to be a little bit more firm on this next shot.
Nick Heilman's 31 years old. All these guys right around that 30 years of age mark. We'll see Brad Miller in the next match, the young guy here in the final 5. But Heilman out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. Pro shop operator down there.
That ball's got to push. And it does. There's a good shot. A little bit more firmer speed there, so the ball didn't jump so hard off the friction. Good way to battle back after that open frame.